season finale last year. Now that we're just hours away from tip, what are the emotions like for you?
Yeah, I just told these guys, I couldn't sleep last night. It's just this anxious excitement, just to be able to have these guys in game one. The possibility of having Kelsey out there as well is good. So, it's hard to put into words because of all the excitement that's just across the league right now.
What is the update on Kelsey?
We're still kind of game time decision, kind of see how she handled shoot-around and then how she's going to go through warm-ups, and then we'll make a decision.
What do you expect the environment to be like in here with it being sold out?
Yeah, I mean, this place it seems like it's sold out all the time. The fans are awesome here. They make it really loud. I told our players it was to our advantage, I think, in those exhibition games, as exciting as it was to play in front of two sold-out crowds, because it helps to understand that environment, how we communicate. You can't hear, so we've had to adjust some things. So just exciting for tonight.
Exit and O's-wise, what was the key message that you gave this team to try to beat Connecticut tonight?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in and they're going to try to push us around. That's their MO, that's their personality, and we just have to be ready for it, know it's coming, and not react to it. Just keep playing our game.
Coach, are the veterans feeling a different intensity this season with all the excitement around the game?
Yeah, I think everything's just lifted up, right? I mean, just the fans, the support, the media, everything is just at a different level, and it's just, it's a good vibe. And like I said, I'm glad we had those two exhibition games to kind of get it ready.
You haven't had much time with Caitlin on the team. How do you incorporate a player like that who's that dynamic into a roster that's already there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great. It's not a problem. It's a great thing. It is a great thing to add Caitlin Clark to this lineup with all the weapons that are around her. I mean, she's a generational talent. She's a great scorer. But, gosh, she is like one of the best passers I've ever coached. And so that's what makes it really exciting as well.
What is something that you've noticed Caitlin growing most from when she first got to camp to now on the eve of the first game?
Yeah, I think she was trying to get to know everybody and fit in, and now she's kind of showing, she has that uber competitive personality, and she wants to do whatever it takes to win. And so she probably wasn't, at the very first she was trying to fill it out, and now she's doing what Caitlin does.
You mentioned not being able to sleep last night a year ago at this time. What do you remember about just how you were feeling moving into the first game last year? Were you able to sleep? Were you more nervous? Did you prepare differently?
Yeah, first time head coach, man. It was nerve-wracking. We had Connecticut at home, and so same thing, kind of the same jitters.
Do you feel those jitters from the rest of the team tonight?
No, I think these 12 practices, 12 practices come into our first game. That's not a lot, but I feel like we've worked these guys. They've done an excellent job, and just how they respond to things at practice. We make our practices really hard, and we want them to, so they can handle the adversity in practice. We have a group of practice guys that couldn't do it without them. I mean, they make us better. So I think what we've done from our first meeting to now is get them ready for this moment.
What was that first charter flight like yesterday?
Yeah, how exciting was that? That was a big old plane, and the players, players deserve it. All 144 players, all 12 teams, all these guys deserve to have that. Just, it helps with your recovery, your rehab. It gives the players also a time to be in a place together and where they can hang out, going from city to city.
When did you learn you were going to take a charter?
I guess it was last week. They had said we were going to charters, but we weren't sure. And then we got the email that that we were going to charter here, which was great because we were able to practice at home yesterday morning. And then if we would have taken our regular scheduled flight, we would have had flown in, practice at 5 or 6 last night, which changes your whole schedule.
I've probably never been a player with the kind of impact that Caitlin is coming into the league. How have the other players kind of responded to that? What's the interaction been like? Kind of the feeling out there? What does that all look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely normal, just as any other rookie would come in. I mean, they know what kind of player she is. They've embraced it. They've embraced her. She makes us a better basketball team. And so, everybody's stepped up and we've talked roles, and everybody's, we'll see tonight. It's our first real game since everyone's been given their actual role on the team. And, I mean, it feels good. It sounds good. Practices have been good. So, I mean, it's a great thing.
Is that just say something about her that she wants to be another player coming in doesn't necessarily want to be placed today?
Yeah, Caitlin Clark is not the norm. I mean, she's a generational player. I mean, she is a player that makes a difference from any moment she's on the floor. And so that's what, I mean, she's going to help us compete. She's going to make our competitive level even higher because she just wants to win. She's going to get our players open because of her spacing ability. She's going to get our players wide open shots because of her passing ability. I mean, she is a phenomenal all-around player for us.
Christie, have you guys voted team captains, or how do you handle that process?
Yeah, I like to let that kind of figure itself out. I think that is, Erica Wheeler and Kelsey Mitchell, Aliyah Boston, adding Katie Lou. I think that's more of a group job. I think when you have 3 or 4 people that can kind of do the leadership, the management of the team, I think that's better than just one voice.
Do you have any recommendations tonight for how people in Indiana should watch your game, Pacers game? How should they
Right.
screens? What's the
Yeah, maybe they'll have 2 games on. Maybe they'll hit like a local, bar restaurant and be able to have both games going. But how exciting it is for the Pacers, man. I mean, Coach Carlisle and his staff, really happy for them, wishing them a lot of luck.
You've spoken about the relationship between Erica and Caitlin in terms of other leadership and bringing her along. Is there anything you've seen between them in the past 24, 48 hours heading into this game to highlight?
E-Dub is constantly in Caitlin's ear, and she's constantly just giving her, one of the biggest things in this league is personnel, know your personnel. And E-Dub, I've heard her just talking to her about this player and that player, because at the end of the day, it is about guard your man. And so Caitlin is, E-Dub's helping her with that. Also just with some of the ways that veteran teams play. There's just a way some veteran teams play that she might not be used to. Just giving her all those little, tidbits of information.
What were the biggest takeaways you had from the pair of exhibition games that you're really looking for your team to address or to build off on?
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me first was I thought Nalissa Smith was really good in both those 2 exhibition games. She filled a role. We're spacing the floor. She was able to get some rebounds. She's posting more, which was good. I think those 2 games, it was hard to play where we were trying to fill each other out like a regular exhibition game where you can make adjustments because the excitement was there. It felt like, a WNBA championship game. So, we didn't probably do as much rotating as we normally would have. So, but now we're kind of, we've made our cuts and we're I think in a good spot of where we are with our 12.
Such a condensed schedule. How do you keep them aware of the big picture while also keeping it the one game at a time?
Yeah, playing some of the toughest teams in the league, right? Our month of May is unbelievable. I'm just hoping that we stay healthy, that we are able to learn from what we need to learn from this game tonight, moving into New York. But I've really preached it is one game at a time. We are focused on this game, get what we need to get done here, and just grow from it. If it doesn't go our way on the court at times, what can we learn from it? That's what I'm trying to teach these guys.
Do you guys have a charter back home to Indiana?
Coach, how big are the charters with such a condensed schedule to be actually practicing there? Because if you have 6 games in 10 days, usually you have to travel the other 4 and we'll get to practice much, I would think. Whereas now potentially you'll be able to get to practice as a young team to get ready for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a huge difference to fly home tonight and get to practice and get ready for New York tomorrow when we would normally fly out tomorrow and then get back to the gym 3-4 o'clock and then have to be there late in the afternoon when they need to be resting. So it makes a huge difference, and we're not sure what our next charter travel is. But yeah, it just makes everything a lot smoother, run smoother and easier for the players.
So just to follow up there, Coach, did you submit all of your travel for all road games and you're just waiting to get them confirmed?
Yeah, well, we're just waiting from the league to let us know what our next charter is going to be, when it's going to be.
So are you planning on flying commercially to New York?
I'm going to, whatever the league tells me to do, that's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm.
Your nervous level or excitement level compared from first game last year to now your second year?
Yeah, it's just excitement, just that our season's back and it's in full go. I don't really think I have any nerves right now. I mean, just going into it like another regular game.
How'd that charter flight feel on the way here?
Well, I don't know. I slept the whole way. I mean, I was out for a count. I don't know if there's a single bump. I mean, my chair was all the way back.
Do you guys feel an extra buzz and excitement to the beginning of the season?
You do. I mean, when you're competitors and you love basketball as much as we all do, and the season's starting, you're just like, okay, it's our turn. College was great. We loved watching them, but it's our turn.
I mean, this place is going to be sold out, and there are going to be people watching all over the country. It's exciting for anyone who loves the game.
It is. This is what you want. The league is continuing to grow. There's so much eyes and energy around it that it honestly makes you so excited to get out on that court and play.
How does this season feel different? Extra juice, extra excitement, whatever?
I mean, I think the extra excitement just comes from the amount of eyes that's watching and the amount of people that you hear talking about the league. But as it comes to the games, I mean, we just look at it as another regular game and we're ready to play.
Are you doing anything different in your own preparation that you didn't do a year ago?
No, same thing for me. I just go on consistency and doing the same thing over, and so nothing's really changed for me.
One thing Coach mentioned was that it's different when you play a veteran team like Connecticut. So what did you learn about whether or not it's Connecticut or another veteran team that makes that sort of competitor different then?
Yeah, I mean, you just know that you have to be smart and you have to play smart. Every possession matters, especially against a veteran team like Connecticut. I mean, the way they cut, the way they play together. I mean, they know each other like the back of their hands, and so it's really that we have to pay attention to every single detail because it matters.
How did that knowledge develop for you now that you're going into your second season? Was it something players were in your ear about last year, or was it something you discovered throughout the season?
It's just you get a game by game, understanding players, understanding teams, how they like to play, what they like to do. And so obviously coming in as a rookie, I was trying to figure out, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, but I mean, you just have to adapt and play really, because I mean, players work on their game in the off season, teams work on what they're trying to do, and so you just have to be ready for what they throw at you.
Lee, how do you balance knowing what lies ahead in terms of like 7 and 12 days, but also focusing on just one at a time?
Honestly, I forgot. I just think about Connecticut. I think that's the best thing for me, is just keeping it one game at a time, because it's really hard when you start looking over, oh my gosh, we have this, because it takes away from what's really in front of you, and that's Connecticut right now.
What's the number one message this team is really embracing before the kids tonight?
40 minutes, give it your all, just play. We have to continue to trust each other. That's what we've been talking about the past few days, just trust that we have each other's back, and just that we're going to give it our all.
If Kelsey is available here tonight or soon, how much does that change the dynamic of what you starters are able to do?
Yeah, it changed it a lot, just because you know the type of player Kelsey is. I mean, she keeps defenders on her toes. She is quick first step. Her motor is so insane that it makes it hard for people to guard her, and so it'd be really nice to have her on that court.
Have you talked to Asia since her shoe announcement?
No, I haven't, but we did share like a congratulations, but that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty cool, especially as a black woman playing this sport, for her to be able to get this shoe. I mean, it is long overdue, but it's a blessing, because I know how many people are so excited to get in line and buy that shoe, pre-order it, and so I'm really happy for her.
You're used to big crowds when you played in South Carolina. What's it been like the first couple of days? 50,000 people at your pieces in their game at home. That must be pretty special.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is what it's about. This is what women's basketball, this is what professional women's basketball is about. Just having that energy, having that eyes, because, I mean, this is the best league in the world. It really is. It's really great to be a part of this league, and so having all these fans, I mean, it's what we need.
Aliyah, if you were watching the Final Four here being easier, did you start to imagine what it might be like to play in the Thunder?
Yeah, I did, because I know the type of player that she is. I was kind of salty when she was feeding Hannah Stokes those passes. I'm like, girl, slow down, not against my Gamecocks, hold on. But I mean, it's a time, you can see it. You see the way she can pass that ball, the way she can shoot, the attention she gets, and so I definitely thought about it.
Have you learned anything about her that you didn't know before?
I think just her sense of humor. She's really funny.
Yeah, I'm happy for her. I called her and talked to her on the phone. I think she probably put a lot of thought into it and making this decision, so I couldn't be more happy for her. I mean, I probably took a couple years off of her career, her having to coach me before, but no, I think the program's going to be in a really good place with Coach Jay taking over. Somebody that's been very selfless, like has had a lot of head coaching opportunities, but has passed those up to help our program be a lot better. So I think having that common figure in the locker room for the girls that are still there and the recruits that are still there. But I know Coach Bluder will still be around a lot, so I'm happy for her. I know she's missed out on a lot of family things, and getting to see her son's last year of college basketball was important to her. So just happy, and I know she'll enjoy it. But yeah.
Caitlin, it feels like we were just at the draft, and now you're here. That's not a lot of time with the team. How is it feeling?
I mean, I'm excited. I think this is the best way to do it. Just get out there and go for it. It doesn't really feel like my first game. Like, I feel like it's just kind of another basketball game that you prepare for in the same way you always have. Obviously, it's a little different magnitude, but for me, it's like, this is basketball. You just go play basketball, have fun doing it, and I think the result will be good.
There's still a little bit of pressure. You're in this arena. They've sold out for the first time in over 20 years for their opening game. What's it going to feel like to be in this sold-out crowd tonight?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I mean, I don't think it's any different from college. Like, I played in front of sold-out crowds literally every single game, so these environments don't, scare me or impact me at all. I think it's just embrace it, enjoy it. I'm sure there will be just like a lot of basketball fans here that really appreciate the game. So for myself, that's fun to play in front of.
Coach talked about how she wasn't able to sleep last night, first game jitters. What is your nervous level like, or just anxious to get out on the court tonight?
Yeah, I think I slept really good, honestly. I don't feel like nervous or really anxious. I think I'm just like excited more than anything, and just embracing it. Obviously Connecticut's really good and everything that they do. Get to step on the court with a lot of really great players tonight. So things just rely on the people around me, and be myself. I know this team needs stuff from me, so just go out there and perform and have a lot of fun.
You talked about hitting all the different venues in the W. You're literally in the middle of a casino. What's your first venue been like for you?
Definitely interesting. Never stayed in a casino before, the night before a game, so I guess there's a first for everything.
Coach was saying that Erica was going to be in your ear about what it takes to play a veteran team like Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
What have you kind of picked up from her or other vets about, especially going out against a team like Connecticut that's just experienced?
Yeah, I think just expect the physicality. Like, they're going to be super physical. They're going to hold you. They're going to pressure the ball. They're going to blitz on ball screens. Like, just expect all that. Know it's coming. Like, that's just what they do. That's what they do to every single team. So I think, going into the game with the mindset of it's coming and you're not surprised by it when it happens. So I think that's been the biggest thing to focus on coming into this game.
In terms of your preparation from today, so game time, will you go watch more film? Will you take an afternoon nap? What will you kind of do in the next 6 hours until you get back to the arena?
Probably watch more film. Other than that, just hang out, drink some water, drink some Gatorade, and probably about it.
Growing up following the league, what was your perception of this franchise? It's been really successful. It's really slow. It's not a big city, etc., but it's kind of a unique niche. Just wonder if you followed what your perception was of that time this summer.
Yeah, I think as somebody growing up following the W, this wasn't really a team that I grew up rooting for just because I was from the Midwest and they weren't, always on, TV in the games that I was watching. I was more of a, Minnesota Lynx fan and Chicago Sky fan, etc., whatever it was. But I think I just enjoyed watching basketball no matter what level it was. So, when they were on, I watched and appreciated it. And obviously, with what they've been doing here, it's been pretty impressive. And I think Steph White is a tremendous coach. I think she has a great basketball mind, and it's been fun getting to know her. Obviously, she's called a lot of my games in college, so it'll be fun to go up against her as, the opposing head coach.
Is your pregame approach the same as when you were at Iowa, or have you changed it at all heading into today?
I think it's a little different just because of, obviously this game is a little different, but I think the turnarounds are going to be the biggest difference from college. Like, you have one day in between, so it's going to be a lot more film preparation and things like that rather than on-court work. I think taking care of your body, like, it's not 2 games a week anymore. Like, it's almost like a Big Ten tournament format or an NCAA format where you're having those quick turnarounds. I think at times that can, play to your benefit a little bit more, depending on how you're playing at the time. But also, I think, it is different in that way. But I think this first game is, we've had time to prep for Connecticut, so it's not quite a good gauge. But I think obviously we play 7 games, I think, in 12 days. So that'll definitely be the biggest difference, is just the turnaround time for me.
Caitlin, is anyone from your family here?
Yeah, my parents will be here tonight, so it'll be fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
With just like 10 practice days, how much do you feel like for you and the team it's going to be a learning on the fly through all these games to finish out this month?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the biggest thing, is you have to continue to learn while you're playing, but also you have to go back and watch film. I know Coach said, like, me and AB are going to watch a lot of film together because that's going to be super important for us to make sure we're always on the same page. But yeah, learning on the fly, like, not everything's going to be perfect tonight. This is our first game, but being able to learn and stack days and stack practices and see improvement, like, that's what we want to see. But we want to know we left this court, playing as hard as we possibly can, giving it everything we got, and I think we'll be happy with the result if we do that.
Caitlin, you've been carrying the banner for women's athletics ever since really, probably before high school. Now that banner might be a little bit bigger. Maybe it's a little heavier. I don't know. Being a professional, have you noticed any difference now? Do you have to concentrate more now because the entire country is watching you as a pro?
I don't feel like it's been really that much difference for my college careers. Like, I try to carry myself in the way that I've always have before a lot of people have watched me. Like, just go about your business, be a good human, enjoy playing the game. Like, I don't feel like it's any fake persona that I put on. Like, I think that's why people also enjoy watching me play, whether it's on the court or whatever it is. I think they can see that I'm like a real human being. I'm just like every single one of them. And I think that's the biggest thing, is like, just go about your business on how you do in everyday life. And I think that carries over to the court and how I prep for basketball and how I respect the game and love this game so much. So I don't really feel any pressure about, the way I have to act or the way I have to perform. I think it just comes with, how I've always gone about my business and the person that I am.
Caitlin, there will be a lot of fans here and a lot of new fans to the WNBA. What do you hope they leave here with after tonight's game?
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing is I hope they can just enjoy the product that's out on the floor, not just the Indiana Fever, but obviously the Connecticut Sun too, and what they've been able to do. Obviously they have so much talent, so I hope they continue to come back and continue to buy a ticket, or, if you're watching on TV, I know we're on ESPN tonight, and continue to turn on the TV and support teams, whether it's, these two teams that play tonight or whatever team it is across the W. Like, the product is so good. So I hope oftentimes people fall in love when they give it a chance. So I guess just, give it a chance, and I think it'll just keep coming back.
Have you heard any advice from either former teammates, Cade, Megan Gustafson, or any other friends who, are older and in the WNBA about approaching tonight's game against Louisville?
Not so much about tonight's game. I think everybody just good luck and go be me and have fun. I think the biggest thing, like people have said, is just like continue to be yourself and then just give yourself grace, and that's going to be the most important thing. Like, not everything's going to be perfect. I know the outside world thinks I'm going to do some amazing things, but that might take some time, and if things aren't perfect right away or one game's not as amazing as I want it to be, like, give yourself grace, continue to learn, continue to get better from it, and I think that's just the biggest thing.
Time for two more. You talked a lot about taking time to give yourself grace. Where did you understand that, learn that from? Was that a parent, a sports psychologist, anything like that?
I think everything combined. I think sports psychology is really important. I think just myself understanding the situation that I'm in. I'm very self-aware of the circumstances, but also like my parents. Like, I was raised in, sports isn't the end-all be-all for me. So like this isn't where I find my validation in everything that I do. Like, if something isn't perfect, my life's not going to end. If we lose the game tonight, my life's not going to end. I'm just going to learn from it and come back on Thursday and try to help us win. And I think sports is a great platform to do a lot of amazing things, but it's not. It's not everything to me, so I guess that's the biggest reason I don't get caught up in, certain wins or losses or, my personal performance.
Last one. Is the charter exciting for you, but you're used to that from college?
Yeah, it makes things a lot easier. It's nicer to get some good sleep on there. I think it'll be great once everybody across the league has it, so, the faster that happens, I think only the product on the floor is going to be better for our players across the board, and it makes life a lot easier, especially because a lot of times you're traveling back after a game, so we would be traveling back tomorrow, and like that's considered your off day, but you're traveling. So I think it just makes life easier for our players. It's a healthier way to travel, and I'm glad we're on the track of getting it done.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.